Hello, Malcolm. Hello, everyone else. Welcome back to Hearts of Iran. This might be the final episode for Iran here. We're going to see. So I'll tell you what happened. Um, I started in episode 3, and I recorded in episode 3. And we invaded Iraq, and Iraq wiped the map with us. So I went back, started over, really rebuilt Iran. Been kind of building up forces on Iraq's border here. Really rebuilt Iran, and so I'll give you a brief rundown of what I did while we check through everything here. You notice we've got quite a few warnings up. So at the beginning, I just built the country out completely to civilian factories, just stuffed it wall to wall, and then worked for more factory slots by doing concentrated industry research. We have very few research slots, very annoying. As you can see, we're up to researching tactics now. I did lots of industrial research, got our industry up to speed, got military factories built. I didn't do any military production at all during this. Our troops went untrained and unequipped. And then once we had the research done and the factories in place, I just slammed production on. And so we're building stuff as fast as we can, and we're getting close to having our inventories full of what we had planned. We still have quite a number of people in training waiting on their tanks. Most of them going into Kurdistan and Khuzestan, I think one into Tabriz, just filling in the rest of the attack wall. It's already 1942. We've got a few divisions protecting Tehran and the airbase there, and we've got a few divisions protecting the naval bases to the south here. We're using one of these bases as our fleet base. Iran Fleet 1 didn't change the name. It's a fine name, and we've got a respectable small fleet of submarines, and they are patrolling our convoy routes as far as they can reach. I don't think they can patrol... They can patrol our convoy routes all the way to the Soviet Union, and we're importing almost everything we import from the Soviet Union. We'll just take a look at trade right now. So we're importing no oil we produce. Aluminum from the Soviet Union, we're short 8 aluminum, but we don't have the factory to pull it in. Rubber from the UK, tungsten, we're fine. Steel from the Soviet Union, and chromium from the Soviet Union. We've pursued diplomatic relations with the United States, the Soviet Union, and the UK, so we have pretty good status with them. We have piles of points, so let's do a bit more of that diplomacy right now. Oh look, it's still on. Our last batch is still on. The next thing we need to do to the economy is get conscription in here. We've got limited conscription. We'd really like extensive conscription, but we're not able to do it because we have to be at war and in trouble, I think, basically. So we have a manpower warning up, and we are going to disregard it. We have a low resources warning up. We are going to disregard it. We have a government modify warning up. We'll check it. And we have no national focus set. We have done all the industrial foci. We started political, and we did liberty ethos for fun. And we've done the army effort, and we've done enough of aviation and naval to have our air force and submarines that we need, because we've been trying to focus our research. We don't only have 3 slots. So we could either now go to a neutrality focus or an interventionism focus, and I don't think we're going to do either. I think we're just going to leave it, keep building up political points, so we'll take that warning off. And we have modified our government to the extent we want. We have Army offense expert, naval maneuver expert that speeds up our subs, all-weather expert that reduces our weather penalty on our air force, submarine expert that totally increases our submarines' powers, Army regrouping expert that does division recovery rate 8.0 something, and an infantry expert that adds attack and defense to our infantry, and some of our army is straight up infantry. Then we've got a number of industrial concerns all helping out, and a military theorist gaining us experience. Captain of Industry gives us a construction speed bonus, which is really sweet. We have partial mobilization, an export focus. We had free trade. pardon me, for the better factory boosts and all that sort of stuff. But we needed our oil back. We were out, and we don't have enough. I built the civilian out, and then I built the military out, and I haven't had to do a conversion. But we are short 8 units of aluminum for our aircraft program, which should be producing far more aircraft. Their Fighter Mark III upgraded for reliability. We have the Heavy Tank their Fighter Mark III Mark I upgraded for reliability, and we have the Heavy Tank Mark II double upgraded for reliability. Its reliability is 116, and the Fighter's is 88. Pardon me. I'll take out that change government warning. We're churning out the subs at a reasonable speed, and the only thing we're lacking is the aluminum. We've got everything else balanced, but we don't have a factory left to trade for that aluminum. So we end up losing something else if we try it. That's okay. We've built up a reasonable air force. We'll just go to air view here. We've got air superiority, 951's playing. Planes flying, close air support 48 flying, and interception 951 flying, and that fleet is at least half fighter 3s, and most of the rest is fighter 2s, and there's a few interwar fighters flying with us as well. I think about 72 of them. So these are the forces we've got. We'll fire time up. I'm pretty freaked out. We'll just double check our research. So we're doing wolf packs for the submarines, which totally raises us Schwerpunkt, which means the point of focus for combat. And now I went and I had a look at the combat wiki on this game, and man, there's a lot to learn. Oh, okay, we've got an armored unit come in. He goes to Field Marshal Hassan Arfa, who's commanding all this stuff. And man, there's all this stuff about command groups and with the battle and just how all the units work, and the mechanics of this game are insanely complex. Like if you go to your aircraft thing, then you've got all these readings about like how many things are in radar range, how many are active, all these different things here. It has all this stuff. I've combined our aircraft into basically 3 huge wings. Oh, in fact, they've handily divided themselves. So we've got 615 Fighter 3s, and then the rest are Fighter 2 and CAS. So we've got 17 planes in the reserves right now. I'll let them build up more before we create another wing. This airport went up, and now can take 1,400 airplanes, so we can create a couple more good-sized air wings out of there. We've got 3 armies. We've got Northern Forces, which are all these guys here. We've got Central Forces, which are just the defense of Tehran area. And we've got the Southern Wind, who will hopefully sweep in and mop up any problems that come pouring out of Iraq when we attack it. They mopped the map with us last time, just killed us. And so constructions are stalled, nothing's building. I had a few things left to build. We're built out in factories, and I was trying to get a few more things done. Another air base, some anti-air defense, a few things that I don't understand yet. I'm going to have to go away and play this game in a quiet room quite a lot before I come back with another series. We're definitely going to take Iran to war here. But understanding the combat in this game is beyond me at this point. Now, what points are these? Those are air experience points. Can we upgrade our fighter another level? Let's just pop in there. And we've got the Mark 1 here, so let's hit the upgrade on the Mark 1. Create Mark 2. And can we add more reliability? No, it's 30 stars. That's why we don't have a Mark 2. Show outdated equipment is a neat button. It gives you all the other stuff that you built. I'd never built any fighter ones. We just researched it and moved on. We'll get time moving a little faster. I'm still not full on my feet. It's been a couple days since I looked in on this game because it's harsh. I spent quite a few hours putting this. Okay, we're assigning those to Hassan Arfa. I spent quite a few hours putting this new version of Iran together. It was a time-consuming operation. I had to pay some attention to what I was doing, although I ran the speed on maximum. And I think I've been fairly successful in at least building up a large force. It remains to be seen whether it's the right force or whether I can use it particularly well, and it's just about time for us to do our war goal. We're getting tank regiments popping out. They must have just been all just about trained. So we're getting armored divisions popping out of training. That's really awesome. We won't put much else in training because we have a manpower shortage up and we can't increase conscription yet. You know, stuff's moving around and stuff. I just want to take a look, see if any more forces have come up for us to add in. Oh yeah, look, 2 more armored divisions just appeared right there. So we really are now building up pretty well on here. For a while there was just 1 infantry division here and they were like green training level, but now we've got 2 infantry and an armored. They're going to be moving in on Mosul here. Where is that, Mosul? Yeah, and Mosul is a notoriously difficult place. How many people live there? 1.30 million people in Mosul, and we're sitting there with a few armored divisions. Well, if the Germans can do it, we can do it. We don't have much defense in the rest of our country. I think some of our training divisions... Oh, look, they're almost all out. Wow. Wow. We're almost fully built out now. 300 tanks needed. We'll just speed up time again because it's going to take a little while to build those. And infantry's all getting upgraded to infantry 3. And I think we have a good oversupply. Let's go to logistics. Yeah, we've got 1,400 extra guns. So that wouldn't even supply a division of infantry, and we're only producing 19 guns a day. So the forces we've got are the forces we've got. And we're not going to have any extra tanks. Looks like we've got 40 fighters to add to a new wing now. We've got a bunch of extra convoys, but I'm thinking we're going to lose some. We don't have that big... Our naval forces are not that big, to speak more properly. We're doing our best with them. It'd be nice to have more aircraft than we do. Oh, we're producing no convoys due to shortage of materials? What? No, oh, there's no shipyard. We switched it all to subs. Oh. Well, I'm wondering if we should be switching back to some convoy production. Maybe we better do that. I guess I did that to amp up the Navy a little. It's not much of a Navy after all. Where is it located? Here in Fars. I like the names we've got here, the Nu, the Eunice, the Bisat, the Fateh, the Nahang, the Gadir, the Yugo, the Submarine 1, and then they're numbered after that, except we got the Tariq, the first submarine we ever built, a Submarine 2. Everything else is a 3 with a stealth mod. Just 1 point of stealth modding. And that's because we got our submarine research all done in a rush, basically. I did research towed anti-air, which was a waste of research slots because we don't have the ability to produce it. Not if we're going to actually manage to... Okay, we better fire time right up. Not if we're going to manage to get this done. I don't want to take gun production down any further than that, personally, because, you know, we're going to need to rearm men during the war, so we'll just keep those guns churning. And we've got all these factories cranking out tanks, and they're fully supplied. And the best they can do is 4.5 tanks a day. It's gonna take a little while longer to get the tanks done. I probably should have brought you guys back when the tanks were really done. And that's what's holding up the last 2 armored divisions, is the lack of tanks. I'm a little nervous to train anyone else because of our shortage of manpower. So I'm gonna maybe leave it for now. I think manpower does build up little by little over time. Let's just see. Free manpower, used manpower. Well, it says we have 71,000 available. I'm gonna throw a couple units of infantry into training. Like so. And put them in smart places. Maybe let's bring time down just to 4 while I do this. We're not going to do another armored brigade because it takes way too long to get the tanks. And we don't even have the guns for these men. Oh, we got some research done. Nice. Okay, let's pause time. We'll okay that. And we'll just find a place to plant our 2 new infantry brigades. We really need to keep them from getting in. You know what I mean? So we need some men to slow them down, and we need more men defending this port. So let's throw one of them on that port, and let's throw one of them on this port, and let's make a third one and throw it on this port, because seriously, man, that's our navy. So we'll leave those guys on medium priority. Whoops, gotta click those numbers. Leave those guys on medium priority. We'll shut her down, because these guys have all their guns. Total need was filled. So, oh yeah, that's the other thing I did, by the way, is I modified the templates. So the infantry brigade here is the same as it was. Right, I didn't change it. That's got 6 units of infantry. But the armored I changed. And it started out with 3 tanks, and I gave it 4. I had given it 5, but we couldn't produce the tanks. So it's got an extra tank, and it's got an extra unit of infantry. It started with 3, now it's got 4. So we did stiffen those armored divisions up. So they actually represent a bit of a tougher armored division than we had in the previous version of our poor little country, which is probably going to lose this war. So let's go get that research slot. That was submarine research for wolf packs. Now we can do advanced submarine warfare. Let's take a quick look through the other things we could do. We could do support weapons 1. That's really good for the infantry. And we could do infantry anti-tank in 128 days. Wow. Well, that's something. I think we'll do infantry anti-tank, because that's like free. It comes with the weapons. It just presumes that you get your anti-tank equipment when the research is done. So that's kind of sweet. And we are running out of time. There's not a lot of time left in the war. I still don't know when the game ends. I've never played a game through to finish. Looks like we only have 2 more armored divisions to come in here. Man, I hope we have enough. And I hope nobody else takes hostile to us. Oh, you know what we should do is go do a little diplomacy. Let's not go crazy. Let's open up the country list. United Kingdom improve relations because we get our rubber from them, and besides they're incredibly powerful. And the United States improve relations because they're incredibly powerful. You know, we're not dumb. And the Soviet Union improve relations because they're incredibly powerful, and we get everything but rubber from them. So we'll just do those improved relations. It's good to just keep that up so our friends are our friends. Our neighbors all like us, including Iraq. If we go to state owner Baghdad, yeah, see, they like us and we like them. But we're going to justify our war goal really as soon as we got those tanks out. As soon as we got those last 2 divisions built out complete. They're waiting on some tanks. This one has 160 tanks. This one only has 16 out of 160 tanks. Those infantry brigades are equipped right away, so they must have had some older weapons. Let's see if we can get a pull down on it. Yeah, infantry equipment 1, 484. So they've got some Great War rifles happening. But there's some final defense battalionage right there. I'm saying that's what they are. We should almost have another one on that naval base. Hopefully we won't get invaded via that direction. We've got 15 divisions poised to hammer into Baghdad in kind of a fast pincer maneuvement. It's actually, you know, Malcolm, the recipient of these games, who is not a Hearts of Iron fan and is probably not going to watch this one. He makes up the best words, man, I tell you. He comes up with stuff. It's as good as Shakespeare that way. Like, I'm not saying he writes plays like Shakespeare, but he comes up with words like Shakespeare did. Just stuff that immediately just becomes part of the lexicon because it's so correct, even though it never existed and is a wrong word. Oh gosh, nervous time. So let's check our production levels here. Oh, we're almost done on the tankos. So, and we're just going to leave production running. We're going to lose all our production if we get driven back past our borders. So we're going to have to really watch that situation. Construction's no point looking at. We're done. And we've got one armor division waiting to go out for its tanks, and it also needs a little training. And we've got some infantry divisions that have full equipment, just need some training. And I'm surprised we don't see an upgrade need on this now. Maybe it just takes a bit to respond or something. I had some funny thing where it was hung up with upgrade need not changing even though I was pouring out fresh weapons. So I think when you're running the game super fast, and it's a really complicated game engine. Like, it's running this whole planet right now with all the different governments, and the level of detail that the engine runs at is extraordinary. Really extraordinary. I suppose it might be used in other games as well. I guess you can just build maps and histories in the engine. I don't really know how these things work. I'm not a software masterful type. We've got another armored division to assign to our field marshal. Hope this works with just one commander on like so. And apparently exercises season those guys up. So we've got one green and one regular, and the rest are just trained, which is good enough. It's going to have to be good enough. We don't have enough men down here in Khuzestan at all. Maybe we should move this armored division from Kurdistan to Khuzestan right now before it deploys. We could use another division down there. We look weak on that front. They could come slamming into us and sort of gut punch our empty terrain here, so we better just at least 1x beef Khuzestan. I don't know if we got enough. When I did this before, they had air superiority, they had everything. It was really awful. Like, seriously awful. Okay, now we're into upgrade need on the heavy tank too, so we're going to slow time down a nudge. We'll let them keep building. And that's because it's a Mark II. We actually built only heavy tank 2s. We did not build heavy tank 1s. So everybody will have heavy tank 2s, either Mark 1 or Mark II. And the Mark II is just one more reliability point than the Mark 1. So really, they're pretty similar tanks, which is great. So let's deal with that air wing. Get that built. We've got 177 planes. So what do? We create new air wing. We move them over. We've got interwar fighters and fighters. What are these guys doing here? Fighter 2s and interwar fighters. Okay, they're an air wing. We select them and let's... Oh, I totally did something wrong. Let's put them in there. And they just get this... They get assigned, and then I assign them to air superiority and interception. And I guess I should assign these to naval strike and port strike, even though I've only got 48 of them. It's good to have something doing it, because the other ones don't have an option. So maybe I'll take them off CAS and just make them naval planes. That's not the worst idea I ever had in my life. So we'll just go with that for now. And we've got planes churning out, so we've got 1,100 aircraft defending the skies, and I don't know how to assign them to cover us when we get deeper into Iraq, which is not a huge country. You know, it's big in space, but well, actually I think it's pretty damn big in population too, to tell you the honest truth. Well, we must be almost ready to strike now. Wow. So, I guess just to quickly recap, there was a lot of jockeying around in complexity to building up the armed forces to this extent. I wouldn't mind having some more men in training. I think I'm going to just throw down on infantry. We're not going to try to build more tanks for people. We're just going to add infantry divisions and keep them in training and get them in some critical fallback type areas like here. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Like here and here and I don't know, maybe even here. Oh yeah, we have a factory right there. So we've got nothing guarding all these factories, and we used concentrated industry, so our factories are way easier to destroy. Now I think we did research concentrated industry 3 or construction 3. Yeah, we did. So we've got a 50% repair speed boost on factories, so that may help us because these guys are probably going to bomb us. And we've got so much time to each research here. I researched a fair amount of the doctrinal stuff after just focusing on tanks, submarines, and aircraft and nothing else. Like, we don't have any support battalions. That's why I cranked the reliability on the tanks so high. And I don't really know how to use the offensive capabilities of the game. So, looks like our armored unit is out, and our infantry brigades are running short on equipment, and we're not making it fast, so we're going to assign all these training brigades to lowest priority on receiving arms and upgrades, so that everything goes to the men at the front. This is the settings for the men at the front here. And we're going to close that. And we're going to take it down a bit, take a look here. So I tried to plan it so we didn't have too many weak points. There is a lot of ground to cover. So I kind of spread it out and just got defensive where it really seemed necessary. And there's so many different commands that the armies can have, it's just not even funny, it's just crazed. I don't know. So it goes. We got another unassigned armored division, so that'll go to Northern Command. That's awesome. That must have been the last of them, I think. So we've got every division assigned to someone. Time is flowing along, and we need a few more guns, but they'll get made. And the aircraft are coming out. Oh, I see, it upgrades that wing I made of cruddy airplanes and starts dumping them out again. That's kind of an interesting methodology. Actually, it works. It's sensible. So we are just about poised to strike. We're going to save our game in a pre-strike Persia slot. And then we are going to go ahead and justify our war goal on Iraq. Where are you, little Iraq? Let us justify war goals upon you. Justify war goals. Conquer Mosul, Baghdad, and Al-Hadra. We want to conquer it all. In fact, I kind of want all the rest of it too. Let's just see where those places are. I'm totally lost right now. Iran. Iraq. Mosul, Baghdad, and Al-Hadra. Oh, that's the lot. Alright, I like that map view. It's a nice map view. Alright, sweet. Let's go back to diplomacy, see if we need to sweeten up our powerful friends at all. Let's just get that done. United Kingdom, hello. Hi, we're really awesome guys. We're just planning this. Oh, we've got news in our country. Reza Shah Pahlavi calls for war against Iraq. Although we may be a peaceful people, our nature alone does not determine the course we must take in history. This is a time of war. For too long, the Iraqis have possessed the means that we need to make it through the trials we may face, and it's apparent that they will not part with them peacefully. Despite our best efforts to build a modern state, some matters can only be settled through the old trials of battle. Reza Shah Pahlavi's hostile rhetoric towards Iraq has gone to great lengths to justify an invasion. Some portion of the population support this course, but the decision lies in the lands, they meant hands, of our leader. It may be a difficult decision, but we must stand behind it. There's no option. We've done that, so we'll restart time, and we'll go back to improving relations with our powerful friends here. We'll do our best. Gee, did we lose a bunch with the UK? No, we're doing fine. And Soviet Union. Let's keep them sweet, because we depend upon those guys right now. Okay, so now we have quite a long justification period for that. And we've got a few men in training, so we're just going to leave them in training and not worry about it. Because we don't really want to be building any more heavy equipment or anything. Now, I don't know how to use the Air Force properly. I have just assigned it to fly various areas, and it just always says Tehran and just then flies. Oh, whoops, what's this? Reza Shah Pahlavi questions Iraqi sovereignty. Who determines the borders of a nation and how they are determined? Whatever way people may have found in the past to justify where Iran ends and Iraq begins, we live in a new era. The strategic importance of this border cannot be overstated, and we are well within our rights to shift it to ensure the continued security of our people. Listening to Reza Shah Pahlavi's recent speeches, an invasion of Iraq appears imminent. Dissenting voices have objected, but public support for the war is on the rise. You gotta love it. Let's check our diplomacy boiler and go back to Iraq. And oh, they still like us. You gotta be joking, man. No doubt. They haven't been listening to the radio. So we'll just make sure we got those divisions in training. Yeah, they're going along. They're training up. They've got all their equipment, so I guess we could throw down on a couple more. Why not, right? Because we have a manpower shortage, that's why not. But we'll just put them in somewhere useful. Maybe another one down in Khuzestan. Maybe another one right in the city of Tehran, give it 2. And another one right in the city of whatever this is. Tabriz is the province. I don't know what the city's name is. So we'll just call that good. And then we got a speed forward. Oh yeah, that's why I wanted to go to the diplomacy thingy. There it is. Sorry, I keep scrolling the map around like a madman. That's why I wanted to go there. I wanted to see how far it is till we got it. So it is 11 days out of 175 days. 12 days out of 175 days to get our war on. And we appear to have the we appear to have the equipment we need except for guns. We're going to keep churning out the tanks at maximum speed, I think. Although I suppose if we decrease tank production somewhat, we could reestablish our trade system and get our aircraft production up. That's a tough one right there, because tanks are good. Let's see how many we got sitting around. We got 241 of them already sitting around, so we're going to go ahead and pull 3 factories off Tanko. Klimt. And that should help us out with some things. So we'll put 2 of those back on guns. And then we're going to go figure out our trade quickly. Let's take the speed down and see if we can't fix some of our stuff here. So we got a surplus of 10 on chromium, so we can get 1 factory's worth back by ditching 8 chromium, and that means we can pull in the aluminum we need from the Soviet Union. Yeah, we won't be able to construct any buildings. And that leaves us with a 7 surplus on oil. So let's go back to production here. It's fun balancing this stuff in this game, and this is just the surface level of the game's complexity. Like, it just gets deeper. It really is a good one. It's hard to do videos on, though, because it requires quite a lot of time to work with a country, and it requires quite a lot of time to learn how to play this game properly. To really give you a smash bang episode of this, I'm going to have to play it some more on my own. But we've started with Iran and we're finishing with Iran. We've got, like, oh man, this is like 4 times the power I had last time. I've done a much better job on that front. So we have 1 milfac left. And what's our surpluses here? Like, we're making 3.5 tanks a day now. Let's pull 1 more milfac off tanks right now. That gives us an 8 oil surplus, even though we're building everything else. Now, planes take more oil. We've got 2 factories left. So, but we wouldn't mind being able to equip infantry quickly to defend the country when necessary. So we're going to go with another one on that. Do we put one on a planes? We have 0 aluminum surplus right now and 4 steel surplus right now, so I think we'll throw another one on guns, because guns are a grand thing to have. That leaves us with a perfect 8 surplus on oil. So we will go to oil. Oh, that surplus is worthless to us, laddie. Absolutely freaking worthless, because we're not importing oil. So I've been a fool, and I've destroyed the experience level of our gun manufactories. That's okay. And now we're only making 3 tanks a day. So it's possible I was a fool, but I don't know. We got this dogfighting experience researched. That's pretty cool. So we've been going up in air doctrine here. So the next one up is multi-altitude flying. Adds fighter agility 10% and heavy fighter agility 10%. Interesting stuff. Let's take a look at what else we can do. Navy doctrine. We can do advanced submarine warfare. Gives us huge bonuses. We'll do it. It's long. We won't get it finished before war. War starts before that, but we're going to do it anyway. Schwerpunkt and infantry anti-tank will come in before war. Start time again there. So that's cool. Diplomacy. Are we still improving relations with anyone? No, it's worn off everyone but the United States. But they're all pretty good. We have massive power, though. We have unbelievable amounts of political power. So we might as well. Now, in another game, I improved relations with as many people as I could alphabetically. And you run out of power pretty frippin' quick. See, we still don't like the Soviet Union, even though they're like 90 towards us. Just because they had claimed the Straits on us, their political focus. That's kind of cool. So we've got Tehran defended with 6 divisions of, I think, pretty much infantry. And we've got a few other scatter divisions. Here's an infantry come in that can go to him. Hassan Arfa now has 31 divisions to his name. That's a good number of divisions. Then we've got 2 infantry came in down here that go to the Southern Wind under Mazdak Zahidi. It's kind of a cool name. And nobody's exercising so as not to use up equipment, you know. I don't know how many tanks it takes for an armored unit, but let's throw down on one and rig it up. Oh, right, we gotta take these priorities down on everyone. Like, they don't get upgrades or reinforcements, right? And let's throw an armored division down where? Where do we want one, really? Where can it be of great use? Maybe back in here? On this? Yeah, why not? We've got a factory right there. So it's going in Khuzestan, and see, it starts out with that much equipment. Let's see. It's got all its heavy tanks. Wow. It just needs the infantry equipment. Amazing. And we're still on upgrade need for the tanks. So okay, we were allowed to train one more armored division and bring them in. That's good. We gotta keep the men flowing. I'd love to take conscription up higher. We certainly have the power, but we don't have the ability. At war and enemy strength ratio of 50% or more compared to our army. So if we do manage to do it, then it'll mean the Iraqis are, the Iraqis are actually too strong for us. Okay, guys. Well, you know what? We are on the brink of war. December 1942. We're definitely on the brink of war here. We've got a little research finishing off. We're not doing a political focus. We have no factories doing construction. And we're not short of any resources for our production, which is kind of sweet. So this is good. And bringing the gun production up turns out to be a good idea because we got plenty of tanks. We just need dem guns, 1,100 of them to finish our training. So we'll keep churning the guns out, and hopefully we'll keep churning the subs out. Let's take a look. Oops, it's not that one, it's this one. Yeah, it looks like we've gained like one or two. I think we've gained 2. So that's great. And he's on patrol. Let's just take a look at his region again. Let's go right out. So he's patrolling this, and this with his fairly small force. So it's probably a good thing we're researching up mass tactics for him. And we've researched a fair amount of tactics for our air force. So we'll just take a look at the air map. Yeah, we haven't gained any. So actually, let's take time down and see if we've got another air wing to build. We've got 107 in the reserves, so we are going to put them in. We're going to create an air wing. And yeah, it's the same. It's Fighter 2s and interwars. Oh. Well, that's annoying. So maybe they should just stay in reserves, but the other ones don't grow on their own. And I don't know how you change the size of them. I don't even know what this is. Airbase priority sets order of arrival for replacement aircraft to air bases. Oh. Well, of course we want to replace our Fighter 3s first. I mean, yeah. Okay, so these guys can stay on reserve, except it's Fighter 2s. Those are perfectly good aircraft. And then we got these interwar fighters. You know what? We're going to war soon. Let's just keep pouring them in. No, we'll end up with too many air wings. Let's wait till we have more. Let's wait until we have a real sweaty pack of them in there, and then we'll just pour them in. And yeah, we've got a couple divisions in Tehran. We aimed another one there. We got some more infantry coming out. Okay, let's another quick review before we really end things up, and we'll be ready for war when we come back. Let's just see how close to war we are. That's one thing to quickly check. Open country list. Iraq. Where are you? They still like us. And we're justifying on them. Oh, we've still got a ways to go. So yeah, that'll be next episode, and I'll read a bit more on the wiki about combat. Maybe I'll try to watch some tutorial videos, something like that. And in the meantime, our aircraft will keep on building, and our other stuff will keep happening. Research is about finished for us. We're not going above Heavy Tank 2, nothing like that. So this was really a reviewing the troops episode, and to show you the new Iran, the much stronger and more powerful Iran that's ready to really sweep into Iraq, which we have like no intel on. And God knows they have like, I don't know, they have whatever. They have one naval base. They're sort of like us. It's just kind of neat here. Whoops. We don't want airbase. We want standard map view. UK controls Cyprus. Population of 385,000 people on Cyprus. That is amazing, isn't it? Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this little parade of our weapons and men. That's basically what this was. The music was just right for a little parade of weapons and men, too. I hope we've got our forces distributed well for the attack. It's not a large country that we're taking on, and we are a larger and more powerful country. We should be able to stomp them. We will find out next episode. So that's it for episode 3 of Hearts of Iran, and next episode, to war. So I hope you guys had a good time watching the troops roll by with their shiny regalia, and until next time, bye for now.